disrespectful. Nobody listens to me. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. That's it. I'm done. Come on. Smells like poop.
Breaking news! A new story has just came in where a juvenile has killed 2 innocent children. We have Alyssa Roman out at the crime scene right now. Back to you, Alyssa.
Hi, Kim. I'm here at the crime scene where Hannah Hernandez, a juvenile, had murdered 2 innocent children whom she had been babysitting for 4 years. The suspect has now been taken into custody at the Orange County Prison, who will be serving an adult sentence to life in jail for the crime she committed. Back to you, Kim.
So, Hannah, what pushed you to murder these 2 innocent children?
I don't know, I've just been having a really tough time lately. My dad just passed away and the kids are just driving me crazy. So I was done. I was over it. They pushed me to my limit.
So, Hannah, because of your crime, what do you think your punishment should be? Should you be charged as a juvenile or as an adult?
Well, I think that I probably should get a little bit of both. I think because I am kind of nervous to go into a large jail, that maybe I should be tried as a juvenile, but going to an adult jail might make me learn better and more important lessons and help me with stuff. So.
We're now back in the studio. Alyssa has joined us, and now we will discuss the interview that I had with Hannah Hernandez.
So based off watching Hannah's interview, I think that she shouldn't be tried as an adult because of the fact when she was sitting here and her emotions took over, she was laughing as she just recently killed those children. I think that her emotions took over and she wasn't fully capable of being able to really understand what she's doing because she's so distraught and depressed and like not herself. What do you think, Kim?
I believe the reason she can't be tried as a juvenile, even though it sounds horrible, because we all know she is a 17-year-old child who's even younger emotionally and mentally than 17. Based on her past, if she's tried as a juvenile at 21, she is done. The state can't do anything else about it. Helping her and rehabilitating her, she will be back on the streets. And we have seen it over and over again. These kids do horrific crimes at 16 and 17, then they're out at 21, and they end up doing something horrific in their life.
Agreed, but say if we were to put a juvenile into the adult prison, they're very impressionable. So what are they going to do? They're going to try and follow the older criminals because they find them as like either a father figure if they've never had one, or like juveniles follow celebrities and juveniles look up to people. So if you're surrounding juveniles with older people, they're obviously going to look up to them and be like, oh, I want to be them. So you're basically setting a juvenile up to be a criminal later on in life when you put them in a surrounding with a bunch of other criminals.
Teaching juveniles for their accountability and their wrongdoings can teach them accountability until they grow old. I believe that juveniles look up to adults, so they mimic their lifestyles and how adults live. So our juveniles nowadays are developed more than, say, we were when we are juveniles.
So going back on your rehab thing, she's only 17 now, so she will still have 4 years until she gets out. So I feel like the juvenile justice system should focus on rehabilitating her for those 4 years and really push her to like try and change.
That is true, but I believe that if juveniles are given more lenient punishments, this does not discourage them from committing crimes in the future and may even bolster their belief that they can get away with committing crimes.
Adult prisons, it'll give them an adult criminal record, and that will keep them from fulfilling lifelong goals or jobs hiring them because they have a record, and jobs don't usually like to hire people that have been in jail, especially because they're so young. As they get older, what's going to happen? They're not going to be able, once they have like a family, they're not going to be able to feed their family because they don't have a job or help keep like a house or do all that.
That is very true. But going back on your brain development comment, a kid will be clearly less immature in terms of brain functioning. Over 14, though, you might be able to make the case that they should be thinking like an adult. Like most 13-year-olds already think as an adult and do adult things.
I feel like a lot of the stuff that they do watch, like recently there was a little boy who was watching wrestling and killed the little girl that he was playing with because he decided to do some wrestling moves. And you're gonna throw a 10-year-old little boy into an adult prison with a bunch of 25-year-old and older men. There are effects physically and mentally on a child that happen when you do put them in adult prison. Like, there are statistics that show that they're 36% higher to get sexually assaulted. If you were a mother, how would you feel if your 10-year-old little boy got sexually assaulted or harassed or lifelong in prison with a bunch of men?
Very true. I feel like I'd be very devastated that my 10-year-old, first of all, committed a crime. But I do believe that in the victim's case that the victim family still deserves justice for what the criminal did to their family member. When a juvenile kills someone, it both affects the juvenile's family and the victim's family, and I believe that the victim's family does deserve justice in the crime that the juvenile committed.
Agreed. I do believe that the juvenile should still have punishment, but there is a certain extent to where the punishment is in effect. They can go to rehab, they can take anger management classes, or they can be on house arrest. So there are things that can help them.
I do believe that, but killing someone is a physiological turning event, even for a young person, that makes them much harder to rehabilitate. According to the Office of Justice Programs, the number of juvenile arrests made in 2012 is over 1 million. Every year, the FBI arrests over 33,000 young adults under the age of 18 for different offenses. 10% of the 33,000 are teens that have committed homicides.